I never imagined my fairy tale life could unravel with just a few hidden texts. Hi, I'm Elena Ramirez, and this is my raw, unfiltered story of betrayal, resilience, and sweet, calculated revenge. It all started on a stormy Tuesday afternoon in our perfect home. I was tidying up while the kids were at school, and Mark's phone buzzed on the counter. Curiosity got the better of me, or maybe it was fate. There they were, messages to his secretary, Lisa, filled with passion and plans for secret getaways. "You're the only one who understands me," he wrote. My heart shattered like glass. That moment hooked me into a path I never thought I'd take. Mark and I met in college. He was the ambitious business major, always talking about conquering the corporate world. I was studying marketing, full of dreams myself, but when we got married and had kids, little Alex and Sophia, I chose to stay home. It was my decision, or so I thought. Mark encouraged it, saying he'd provide everything. He rose quickly at Technova, a cutting-edge tech company specializing in AI software, becoming VP of Finance. We had the house, the cars, the vacations, but behind the facade, he was building a double life with Lisa, his bubbly, ambitious secretary who'd been with him for 3 years. She wasn't just typing memos, she was stealing my husband's heart, and as I'd later learn, dipping into company funds together. I could have confronted him that night, screamed, thrown things, demanded a divorce. But as I sat there, rage turned to resolve. Why destroy our family publicly when I could dismantle his world from the inside? I decided to play the oblivious wife. For months, I kept up the act, cooking his favorite meals, planning family outings, even initiating intimacy to keep suspicions at bay, all while secretly plotting. I dusted off my old skills, enrolled in an accelerated online business program, and started learning everything about Technova. I pored over public reports, followed industry news, and even hacked together a small app in my free time that streamlined data analysis, something I knew the company needed. Balancing it all was exhausting. The kids noticed Mommy was busier, but I framed it as a hobby. Mark? He was too wrapped up in his affair to care. He'd come home smelling of her perfume, spinning lies about work stress. I smiled through it, gathering intel. I discovered Lisa wasn't just a fling. They were planning a future, talking about leaving me once the kids were older. That fueled me more. After 6 months, I was ready for Phase 1, infiltrate Technova. Using my maiden name and a slightly altered resume, I landed an entry-level position in operations. The irony? Mark's department was finance, so we were floors apart. I kept my head down, but my ideas shone. I proposed an AI tool to optimize supply chains, which saved the company thousands in the first quarter. Promotions came fast, analyst to manager in under a year. Colleagues whispered about the rising star. Mark heard the buzz, but never connected the dots. He was distracted by his own schemes. But climbing wasn't enough. I needed leverage. That's when I uncovered the dirt. While auditing old financials, a task I volunteered for, I found discrepancies. Small at first, unauthorized expenses, lavish dinners charged as client meetings. Then bigger, funds siphoned to offshore accounts. Mark was embezzling, using company money to finance his affair, luxury trips, jewelry for Lisa, even a down payment on a secret condo. But here's where the intrigue deepens. The twist wasn't just his embezzlement. It was a web of deceit involving more players. I traced the funds and found Lisa wasn't innocent. She was the mastermind, forging signatures and covering tracks with her admin access. But digging deeper, I uncovered a bigger scandal. Mark had an accomplice on the board, old college buddy director Harlan, who turned a blind eye for kickbacks. Harlan was skimming too, inflating contracts with phony vendors. It was a house of cards. I could have gone to the authorities anonymously, but I wanted control. So I planted subtle breadcrumbs, anonymous emails to the internal audit team with partial evidence, timed releases that pointed fingers without exposing me. I even befriended Harlan's assistant, gaining insider info on his vulnerabilities. The intrigue peaked when I orchestrated a chance meeting at a company retreat. Posing as a concerned colleague, I subtly manipulated Harlan into confessing more over drinks, recording it discreetly. When the audits hit, chaos ensued. The CEO, blindsided, launched a full investigation. Harlan resigned in disgrace, taking the fall as the ringleader. Mark was implicated but not fully exposed, yet. Lisa, sensing the heat, ghosted him and fled to Europe with what funds she could grab, leaving Mark isolated and paranoid. The board, in panic, needed a savior. My track record? Impeccable. I uncovered key fixes during the crisis, positioning myself as the hero. Interim CEO? Mine. But the real twist? I had evidence linking Mark directly to Harlan's schemes, forged documents in his handwriting. He thought he was safe, but I held the noose. Alina, VO. 2 years from discovery to domination. I called Mark to my new office. He strutted in, expecting a routine update, until he saw me at the helm. Alina, this is impossible. His voice cracked. I savored it. Sit down, darling. We've got a lot to discuss. I revealed everything. The affair, the embezzlement, the recordings, the paper trail that could send him to prison for years. He denied, then begged, invoking our kids, our history. Please don't ruin me. I'll end it with her. It's over anyway. Pathetic. But ruin him outright? No. Divorce would hurt Alex and Sophia. Firing him? Too merciful. Instead, I demoted him to my executive assistant, handling my schedule, menial tasks, all under my watchful eye. One slip and the evidence goes public. He does my bidding now, pushing my agendas in meetings, spying on rivals, even apologizing daily in private. Technova? Under my leadership, we've expanded globally, profits soaring 400%, innovations leading the industry. I've mentored women in the company, created scholarships for single moms pursuing education. Mark watches from the sidelines, a shadow of his former self. Revenge isn't vengeance, it's reclamation. I turned his betrayal into my empire. If this story resonates, if you've been wronged and dream of rising, you're not alone. Hit subscribe for more real talk empowerment, like how I balanced motherhood with corporate conquest. What's your story? Share in the comments. Until next time, remember, your pain can be your power.